And then you make a big stop against Baylor. Baylor! Oh!
Oh shit! They actually did it! They actually fucking got away! So if I'm a Conference fan, that franchise guy's gonna be so fucking happy about that. Oh my god! They actually did it, bro. I'm gonna be so happy, bro. He was a nine.
I called it. I called it.
Well, we all called
it.
it. Did it?
No, hold on, Warren. I know I'm supposed to fucking hate it. I don't fucking hate it. I'm just gonna keep it real. I did it. Okay?
Oh God. What?
Oh my god, bro. What the
Troy on the clock.
Get the. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, sir. Detroit is on the clock. Wow. And their pick is in as well.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
So, Chris, so Dallas in a last-minute exchange decided to trade their pick off to the Detroit
What the fuck
Lions.
are you doing, Jerry? And could not leave the getting bed. You got me jumping. It'd be called cream pie smash.
Oh God, dude. I knew it.
So, West Virginia played about as good as my fucking hairline is right now. And you probably see my hairline, Bailey. It is bad. Okay?
God!
For the love of football.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Mafia Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Riddell. And boy, oh boy, we got a lot to talk about. UFL, NFL, more likely NFL free agency has been going crazy over the last couple weeks and the past month. First of all, I've been on hiatus for a couple weeks now, and I do have to apologize because I've been in and out of a cold. I've been super busy with my personal life, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm content with that, and but the PNP has never been off my mind. I always have good ideas for it. I'm still planning for ideas for it. So, yeah, I'm real excited about leading into April. Next week, though, we're going to have our first first week of the UFL predictions as the UFL season starts this next week. And we'll have an episode Tuesday, more specifically on the UFL predictions. And I gotta tell you, I'm excited for it. I really am. And leave a like, leave a comment on who you think is going to win the UFL championship this season. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be new teams, new coaches such as AJ McCarron. I'm real excited to see what AJ McCarron can do with the Birmingham Stallions taking over Skip Holtz's Stallions. Can he replicate what Skip Holtz did for Birmingham? We shall see, but I'm looking very much forward to watching the UFL for sure. And as far as the NFL side, there's been some weird trades. There's been some weird transactions. We'll look at that here a little bit as well. But I do want to talk about UFL first because we're going to have a priority over the UFL this season. And as I'm watching I'm watching my Longhorns in the March Madness right now. They're playing to get to play in the March Madness tournament. They're playing against BYU right now. They're up 5-0 right now. Oh man. What? I hope Texas does something with this. But anyway, let's get into what we know, football. Now, the Birmingham Stallions is the first team we're going to talk about. They'll play at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. And here's some key players with Coach A.J. McCarron. Quarterback Matt Corral's coming back with receivers Deion Kane and Jaden Mickens and linebacker Tate Crowder. I mean, this is the team that has won 3 consecutive spring titles under Skip Holtz before losing the UFL semifinals last season. And the offense is led by Matt Corral and all UFL receiver Kane with 29 receptions and 514 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns. And Mickens comes to Birmingham from DC with 6 receptions and 132 yards and a touchdown in the UFL championship game. So this is going to be fun to watch. I guarantee you that we're going to see some explosive offense out of the Stallions. I'm more intrigued to see what happens on the defensive side as well for Birmingham. I wonder if they're still going to be as ruthless as the Holtz era, or are they going to be a little bit more coverage heavy than they were in the latest spring games. Then you look over here for the Columbus Aviators. Ted Ginn Jr. is going to be the head coach, former Buckeye. They'll be playing at the historic Crew Stadium. And that ought to be fun. And I tell you what, they got a quarterback in Jalen McClendon and running back Toa Tua and tight end Gunnar Oaks. Sounds like to me they're going to be a little bit more run balanced. They'll throw in some passes as well, but they're going to be running the rock. They have one of the strongest offensive lines in the UFL with 2 all-league selections returning with Cole Cobrel and Ryan Nelson. And then you got the all-UFL tight end Oaks. And then you got Kedrick Whitehead leading the defense for Columbus. So one of the newer teams in the UFL. This is going to be a fun one to look at as well. Now we go back to Dallas. The Dallas Renegades, coached by Rick Neuheisel, legendary coach, and he spent 1 season with the Arizona Hotshots, if you remember the AAF, Alliance of American Football, which he'll inherit Luis Perez, and then he'll have receiver Tyler Vaughns and cornerback Ajeen Harris, who had 3 interceptions last season and led the defense with linebacker Willie Taylor, who is second in the UFL in sacks. I'm really intrigued to see what happens. And then you got Deontay Burnett and Day Hunter. I think this team, the Dallas Renegades this season, are going to be a team to watch out for, in my opinion, especially with one of the best outside of NFL quarterbacks possibly ever in the spring league. Luis Perez is unbelievable, man. He is one of the best UFL QBs and one of the best one of the best pro quarterbacks outside of the NFL. So if I'm anybody, I'm watching out for the Dallas Renegades as they play it at the Toyota Stadium. DC Defenders in Audi Field. Shannon Harris will replace my man Reggie Barlow, brother of Master Chief Barlow. Shout out to Master Chief Barlow. who coached the last two years of the Defenders QB coaching area. Shannon Harris, he stepped up to be the new leader of the DC Defenders as Reggie Barlow is no longer the head coach. But the key players, Jordan Teamu returns to DC. And DeAndre Baker, cornerback, and then Derek Roberson, who I think is a pretty good defensive end as well. And Teamu returning back to DC after winning MVP honors in the title game, and he passed for a record of 390 yards, 4 touchdowns, and added a rushing touchdown in that championship game. And not only that, you got all UFL selections with Baker and Roberson, so they're still gonna be a really good team. They're gonna be the defending champs. Now back to an original spring league team, but a newer team in this mix-up of spring football teams. The Houston Gamblers, they'll be playing in Shell Energy Stadium. I might go to one of their games, actually, since they're closer. Led by Kevin Sumlin, the man, Kevin Sumlin. I love me some Kevin Sumlin. He's going to return to Houston. He coached at UH from 2008 to 2011 before he went to go coach Johnny Manziel and the Aggies. And then he served as the Gamblers head coach back in 2022 when there was the USFL. So his key players are 2 players, Justin Hall and Keon Bars. This roster is mixed with familiar UFL faces and several players new to the league. So this one is kind of a wild card here. We don't know what to expect out of the Houston Gamblers here. But I have a good feeling that Kevin Sumlin will get this team to be extremely competitive. Now, this is one of the new teams here. The Louisville Kings. I gotta say, I like this team already. I love their color scheme. I love everything about them. The Louisville Kings, though. Lynn Family Stadium will host Chris Redmond and the Louisville Kings in Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to my boy J-Mo, former producer of the show and editor of the show, and had to deal with my crazy ass. They got 3 key players in Benny Snell, the running back, Cameron Dantzler, and defensive end Jalen Allen. Now, Redmond inherits much of the roster of the Memphis Showboats, who went 2-8 last season and finished 7th in the league last year. Which you're probably going to have a more cohesive unit with this team. And then you add in the center, Alec Lindstrom, and guard, Nash Jensen. You're going to have a pretty strong bond with that Louisville offense. And then on the flip side, you got a former University of Kentucky standout, which Cards fans are going to fucking hate it, but they're going to have to cheer for him. In Benny Snell, so. And it, like it says here, Dantzler and Allen are proven UFL commodities. And I believe that Louisville will be competitive. I don't know if they'll be in the running for winning the UFL championship just yet. The Orlando Storm, coached by Anthony Beck, who was the coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks for the last 3 seasons. Now the head coach of the Orlando Storm. They'll be playing in Interco Stadium with key players in DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Jashawn Corbin, KJ Hamler, Chris Rowland, and Isaiah Buggs. That's a lot of names right there, by the way. And you got Anthony Becht as the quarterback, or the head coach. I expect this team to be really, really good. They got a great mashup of new faces and veterans on the squad. A lot of guys from the San Antonio Brahmas roster. But this is going to be a team that you got to watch out for, man. Like, I think Dallas and Orlando are going to be the two teams that you have to watch out for this season. And then last but not least, you got the St. Louis Battlehawks, which they'll be returning to the Dome. St. Louis Battlehawks fans are my favorite fans in this league. They are committed, they are prideful, and they represent St. Louis very well. They fucking love football. And they are very passionate about their squad, which they do have a new coach in Ricky Proehl now. And they have a new quarterback situation that is unsettled. But Ricky Proehl, first-time head coach, he's got a lot on his plate this season. And Hakeem Butler does come back. Mike Penasuik, and then Peter Tiamupinu, linebacker for the Battlehawks, are there to assist Ricky Proehl as he tries to find the next quarterback for the St. Louis Battlehawks, which Tiamupinu is the reigning UFL DPY, which is Defensive Player of the Year, after posting a league-leading 7.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. And one more thing before I conclude the UFL side of things. You know, I'm really excited to see how this goes. The two teams that I'm watching out for, the Orlando Storm and the Dallas Renegades. The two teams that I'm really unsure about, the Gamblers and the Battlehawks. You know, and two teams that and the teams I'm probably going to put money on to either be in the championship or win the championship. I haven't quite decided to pick who's going to win. I think Birmingham and you're probably going to see Birmingham versus DC in the championship. I think that AJ McCarron's got a really good coaching staff built up. I look at the coaching staff and I look at the roster for every team, and I love what I see in Birmingham. And also, you got the reigning defending champions, the DC Defenders, who are looking to reclaim a championship as well. But two teams to watch out for, Dallas and Orlando. I would not be surprised if Dallas or Orlando beats either one of those two teams that I just mentioned that could be in the championship. But, all right, let's go ahead and talk about it. Shall we? Shall we? Now, there's been a lot of transactions, trades in the NFL, signings that have happened that are kind of a big deal. I feel like this is a really important running back free agency more than anything. Receivers as well, because you saw a lot of big-time receivers like Michael Pittman go to different spots that you normally wouldn't have thought they'd be going to different places. Well, this is very interesting. This is a very interesting free agency so far. And one thing I do have to mention is the Max Crosby deal. What the fuck happened right there? Like, you know, the Ravens knew that Max Crosby had surgery and he was already moving around and as if he was healing fast. and was already dunking the ball and all this other shit. And whenever the Raiders quote unquote traded Max Crosby to the Ravens, so the thing is, for you guys that don't know, I learned this too. So a trade is not finalized until they sign the dotted line, of course, right? Well, Max Crosby didn't sign the papers yet when he did his physical. The Ravens had him do the physical, and for some weird reason, the doctors didn't like what they saw, and all of a sudden, he's headed back to Vegas. In that the Ravens declined the trade offer, even though they agreed to get rid of their two first rounders for Max Crosby. And they knew about his injury. They knew about his surgery. They knew everything about him. But didn't take the deal. Is it shitty business practice? Absolutely. Is it a... I don't know how to quite explain it. It's a bad business deal, but I think it's a necessary bad deal in a way. Like, it's a double-edged sword in the sense. And then the day after, they got Trey Hendrickson from the rival Cincinnati, which I don't know what the fuck Cincinnati's thinking. I really don't. Letting your best defensive player go to your rival is absolutely fucking insane. And I think Max Crosby took it as disrespect from the Ravens, and rightfully so. And you know what? If I was in Max Crosby's shoes, I'd be marking my calendar for the Ravens game, whenever that is. Or if they even play them at all. If they don't, try to get into the playoff, and hopefully they make it to the playoff. So that way, I would fucking destroy them if I was Max Crosby. You know, and I view Max Crosby as one of the top defensive players in the league. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he has a high motor. But unfortunately, that injury really hindered him and hindered the team. And, you know, and it sucks seeing a guy in his caliber, and his story is remarkable too. Being a guy drafted late from Eastern Michigan, going to Vegas and just fucking kicking ass, you know, and then all of a sudden, you get injured this past season, and you get traded, quote unquote traded to the Ravens, but you end up not getting traded, and now you're in Vegas wondering if you're going to be traded elsewhere or not. But I have a feeling that the Raiders are going to keep Crosby. I don't think anybody's going to be interested now because of the simple fact of what the Ravens did. And it sucks seeing a guy like Max Crosby not get his opportunity elsewhere, even though he loves the Raiders organization. He's an old school cat too, so that's what I love about him. He plays like an old school cat, so shout out to him. Shout out to Max Crosby, man. But let's go ahead and dig into some of these trades real quick. I'm gonna start off with let's go ahead. So the Dolphins traded Minka Fitzpatrick to the Jets. That's fucking weird. But I do like this trade right here. The Lions to the Texans, David Montgomery. And it doesn't say what happened. But, oh well. Trent McDuffie pretty much fills in a plug for the Rams as the Chiefs traded Trent McDuffie to the Rams. Geno Smith going back to the Jets, being traded by the Raiders. So it looks like the Raiders are going to pick Fernando Mendoza in the first round. I will not be surprised during the draft special. Michael Pittman traded from the Colts to the Steelers. How interesting is that? Rashawn Gary to the Cowboys from the Packers. I actually like that for my Cowboys. We need to fix our interior defensive line. Zaire Franklin from the Colts to the Packers. I think that strengthens the Packers defense a lot more. And with that being said, Colby Wooden, along with that trade, goes to the Colts from the Packers. And then DJ Moore goes from the Bears to the Bills, which makes the Bills a bigger threat offensively. Let's see if they can get past it. And then this trade right here. For me, it didn't make sense for the Titans to get rid of this guy, but it made perfect sense to get Jermaine Johnson. I would have loved to see Jermaine Johnson and T'Vondre Sweat on the same defense. But I guess the Titans didn't value T'Vondre Sweat as much, so they traded him to the Jets. The Jets traded Jermaine Johnson. Jalen Waddle, yesterday, as a matter of fact, was traded officially from the Dolphins to the Broncos, so this helps Bo Nix a lot. And then you got Justin Fields traded from the Jets to the Chiefs, which might help him out sitting behind Patrick Mahomes, and he's a pretty proven serviceable QB in that regard. Now, signings. Here we go. I am looking up important signings. I'm just looking up signings. So here's what I don't understand, right? The Vikings situation, quarterback situation. Everybody's talking about how J.J. McCarthy needs to be traded. That J.J. McCarthy, like guys like RG3. J.J. McCarthy needs to be traded so that way he could build a better career out of himself. He needs to be traded somewhere and sit behind Matthew Stafford, blah, 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 blah. Whatever happened to QB development? Whatever happened to sticking through the mud and try to outdo the other QB? Or if you lose the battle, learn from that QB, from his either mistakes or basically his pros and cons. Why not learn from Kyler Murray or Carson Wentz and see what happens? And I guarantee you, if Kevin O'Connell doesn't make it to the playoffs, he's getting fired. Because Minnesota not too long ago, 2 years ago, or actually the season before, was 14-3 with Sam Darnold and lost the first round. And then a year later, Sam Darnold gets traded to the Seahawks and wins a Super Bowl. How the fuck can that be? How in the fuck can you be that incompetent as a organization? I do not get it. It blows my fucking mind how incompetent the Minnesota Vikings treated Sam Darnold. You know, and I had my doubts about Sam. I did. But you know what? He proved himself to me, and by God, he won a Super Bowl. But yeah, I just don't get the whole Vikings thing. Like, let's go ahead and pick up Kyler Murray and sign Carson Wentz, and we still have J.J. McCarthy. How fucking stupid does that sound, you know? Mo Alley Cox re-signs with the Colts. My goodness, I'm sleepy today, guys. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Kenneth Walker gets traded to the fucking Chiefs by Seattle. I think this is a huge mistake by Seattle by getting rid of Kenneth Walker, or letting him go. I think it's a bad move by Seattle right here. Because they let a Super Bowl MVP go. Like, are you serious right now? Christian Kirk signs with the 49ers. Mike Evans got traded to the 49ers by the Bucks. You know, it's insane. This is, and I don't think the 49ers are going to be that good next year, honestly. I think they're going to decline, and I think that they're not going to be as good as they were this past season. I think they got rid of one too many guys, and it's just not going to be a good season for them. Just a very weird off season, in my opinion. Gives me weird vibes this off season. I don't know why. It just does. As I'm looking through here. Well, the Bucks signed Kenneth Gainwell. Miles Killebrew and Kate Otten re-signs with the Bucks. Malik Willis signed with the Dolphins. I don't quite understand what's happening with the Dolphins organization with their new regime. It seems like they don't have a whole lot of confidence in Quinn Ewers for some reason. But they pick up Malik Willis. I only saw one good game out of Malik Willis at Green Bay, but that's a bad. I don't know. You sign Malik Willis for that much, and you expect him to be a fucking game changer? No. Have some faith in your fucking rookie quarterback, you know, and I don't know. I just do not like it. But I do like the pickup by Miami to get Tutu Atwell. That's a big pickup for me, in my opinion. And then Travis Etienne to the Saints. That's a plus. Rashad White going to the Commanders from the Bucks. C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Bears to the Bills. Trying to see if Clevion Chason goes from the Patriots to the Commanders. That's another good pickup by the Commanders. I think this was a good chance of a good offseason. Charles Omenihu, former Chief, former Longhorn, now Commander. Goddamn. Lions got a pretty good set of signees too, including Tyler Conklin. Bears and Bills have been making moves with each other. It's unbelievable. They're starting to build up a romance over here. And then the Giants had a massive amount of signings right here. 2 re-signings, 4 former Ravens, Isaiah Likely, Patrick Ricard, Jordan Stout and Ardarius Washington. And then you look at Greg Newsom II. He's a former Jaguar. Then free agent Tremaine Edmonds. Wow. And then the Texans, too. They've been signing people left and right. Couple re-signings here. Naquan Jones and Sheldon Rankins. Then you got a former Colt, Braden Smith. Dominique Robinson from the Bears. Jacob Hummel from the Ravens. Logan Hall from the Bucks. And Reed Blankenship. That one was a big signing for Houston, in my opinion. Reed Blankenship, he's gonna be good for Houston. Oh God. But yeah, and the Raiders did have a couple good signings here, like Nakobe Dean and Kwity Paye and Quay Walker. I like that defensively. And then they get Tyler Linderbaum offensively. I'm not a big fan of Jalen Naylor. I never have been, never will. Just seems lazy to me. The Patriots did get Romeo Doubs from the Packers, and then Reggie Gilliam from the Bills, and then Jamont Jones from the Ravens, and Elijah Vera Tucker from the Jets. The Titans, though, oh my good God almighty, they got 4 former Giants. Yeah, 4 former Giants. Wow. They're trying to rebuild that fucking roster, just like how shitty their fucking logo is. Let me talk to y'all about this real quick. Okay? What the fuck is this? Fucking circle with the T, cut the tip. Like, where's the flame? I'm okay with the colors. It's the fucking logo that pisses me off. The Tennessee Titans need to have the fucking flame logo. Why in the fuck would you go from this beautiful... This is for the clip later. Why would you go from this beautiful masterpiece right here to this big old stinking pile of fucking poopy right here? Like, what the fuck is this thing? What the fuck is this? It's a fucking seat cushion is what it is. This, amazing. This, stupid. Why would you change from the Flames to a fucking bland ass fucking plate? That's what it reminds me of. It looks like a fucking plate. Titans fans, I want y'all to tighten up, but goddamn, y'all didn't have to take away the flame. God damn. I loved the Titans logo. Like, the Titans logo was awesome. The fucking meteorite look with the flame going down, with the Nashville Star look, and then the T with the points. And the thing is, the T with the circumcision. God damn it. It breaks my heart. Logo changes like this break my heart. And that's another thing. In professional sports or in college sports or in anything. God damn, what a dunk. In college sports or any other sports. Logo changes have really deteriorated over the years. I don't understand why, but the more we grow up and the more we look at logos, the shittier they become. Like, honestly, the only good former logo upgrade that I could think of, the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals logo upgrade. I thought the other one was kind of just like, I don't want to be here. The Lions logo upgrade was good. Who else? Who else had a good logo upgrade? Who else had a good logo upgrade NFL wise? The Seahawks. They had a decent logo upgrade. They just swapped some colors around. But over the last couple years, actually the last couple decades, there have been some shitty ass logo changes. Like the Rams logo, like the fucking Jets, the Dolphins. The list goes on, but why would the Titans change their logo to a fucking plate? Oh my god, bro. Like, it was so iconic with the flame behind it. Like, everybody loved it. Even the teams that hated the Titans loved their logo. You can't fucking deny that one. Houston, Jacksonville, Duval, or Indianapolis. You cannot deny the fact that the Tennessee Titan logo was fucking badass. Now it's just a bland piece of shit that nobody gives a fuck about. Now they're gonna call it a Houston Oilers knockoff, and it looks bland as fuck and just gay. I don't know, bro. It's one of those things where I wish that they didn't change the fucking logos often. Like the Jets logo before the 90s and 2000s logo. That was the best Jets logo. The Dolphins helmet logo, where they had the dolphin jumping out of the water with the helmet before that modern look. The one before was sick as fuck. The Patriots logo. Iconic logo because of Brady and Belichick. But I have to say this. The Boston Patriot was better. Take you further. The Rams logo was better. The the Bronco with the D in the fucking Bronco shooting fucking lightning out of its nostril was sick. Let's see, who else? I would say the Eagles logo back in the day was badass. The Buccaneers original upgraded logo was better. What the fuck? Sirens? But you get my point. Logo changes have gotten shitty, and someone needs to rectify this crime. What has happened to the Tennessee Titans logo is a fucking crime. It's a crime. A couple more things. Yeah, I'm not going to do waivers. I can do though is, hang on, there should be some free agents. Wait, other, let's see other real quick. No other transactions. Let's go to news real quick and latest. Let's see if there's some breaking news. Oh yeah, Hollywood Brown goes to the Eagles, by the way, and AJ Brown will most likely be traded in the draft. He'll probably be traded to the Patriots or some NFC East team. I don't fucking know. I'm just ready for the draft special, which I need to bring this up, by the way. Draft special, right? It's one of the most synonymous days of the Pigskin Mafia podcast. So if you're new, tune in, leave a like, subscribe, leave comments saying who will be drafted in the first pick of the NFL draft. But anywho, the NFL draft starts, I believe, the 24th. Let me double check that real quick as I'm actively trying to get this going here. As I'm trying to announce at the same time. NFL draft. So the NFL draft will be April 24th. Or actually April 23rd in the first round. And yeah, we only fucking do the first round. I will never ever do the entire fucking draft. If I ever did the entire draft, something's wrong with me. But I'm trying to set up a schedule for the NFL draft so that way I could do the draft special and everything will be all right, and I can run the show just fine. And what we'll do is I'll have the ticker going, and I'll have all the picks right there. And I think what I'm going to do is fill it in as I go, which will be a first time for me because I hardly ever do such thing. I just usually just let it go. It's a grueling process. A lot of people watch Pat McAfee's show or the actual NFL draft to watch this stuff. But if you do want to watch, leave a like, subscribe, comment who's your team and who you want to be drafted in the first round for your team. As Billy behind me is getting excited because she knows what time it is. It's NFL draft season. Of course, we're all going to be excited. Of course, we're all going to be pumped up. And here's the draft order right here, by the way. So, number 1 will be Vegas. Number 2, the Jets. 3, Arizona. 4, Tennessee. 5, the Giants. What is your issue? Lay down. Weirdo. Number 5 will be the Giants. 6, Cleveland. 7, Washington. 8, New Orleans. 9, Kansas City. I think someone's going to trade with Kansas City. 10, Cincinnati. 11, Miami. 12, Dallas. I think Dallas is going to trade up for a higher pick. More than likely, they might trade up to no. It's either going to be 6 or 4. Or maybe 3. I don't know. Dallas be doing some dumb shit sometimes. Then the Rams, a pick that they got from Atlanta. Baltimore at 14. Tampa at 15. The Jets, they get 2 first rounders this draft cycle. Who knows? Dallas may trade up to get that second pick if they're aggressive. I doubt it though because fucking Jerry Jones won't do it. The Jets got this pick from Indianapolis, 17 Detroit, 18 Minnesota, 19 Carolina, number 20 Dallas, another first round pick from Green Bay. Pittsburgh 21, Chargers 22, Philadelphia 23, 24 Cleveland, a pick, another draft pick from Jacksonville, 25 Chicago, 26 Buffalo, 27 San Fran, 28 Houston, 29 Kansas City, a pick from the Rams. So they got 2 first rounders. Andy Reid ain't fucking around. 30 Miami from Denver, 31 New England, and 32 Seattle. That's what you're looking at right there. But I'm going to make a prediction early. I think that we're going to see 2 or 3 trades in this first round. But as my Longhorns are up by 9 right now, what the fuck is happening? Texas men's basketball in March Madness doing something good for me for once. Until that happened. I spoke too soon. But tune in Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, as I predict the first 4 games of the UFL season. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for AJ McCarron's NFL debut. Rick Neuheisel returns. And Anthony Beck coaches a different team. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to watching this shit. And who knows, I might have a live stream on YouTube or TikTok, whichever one comes first in my mind, watching the UFL. So, guys, it's been real, but I'm fucking tired. It's been awesome. Not a whole lot of news came out today. Just, God damn it, P. I'm on the podcast. I done told you this. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking, I forget to put do not disturb. Anyway, tune in to the Pigskin Mafia podcast Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. UFL predictions. Week 0 is what I'm calling it. Week 0 for UFL, where we will talk about the Birmingham Stallions taking on the newcomer, the Louisville Kings. Live on the PMP. Make sure you get your popcorn ready because we're going to talk about UFL and all of UFL until April, where we start talking about the draft cycle. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to go. We are the PMP. Good night. Mwah. And good night. Bang. Toodaloo. Motherfuckers.